Welcome to another episode of A Beer with Atlas. I'm Rich.
I'm Brian.
And this beer comes by way of one of our recruiters down in Florida. Ashley Grohs helped to pick this up when Steve Seitner was down there for just recently. Funky Buddha Brewing Company, the Pineapple Beach.
He's kind of our Funky Buddha.
He kind of is a Funky Buddha.
And it's a good fit because it's a Florida brewery. We can't get that here.
True. Blonde ale with pineapple added. Have you had anything from Funky Buddha ever?
I think maybe one or two things, but not much because it's really hard to get that here. Mm-hmm. I've had their bottles and cans shown to me by Seitner in my past life, but I've never actually got to really drink any of them.
The empties, as he's
like, hey, check out what I had.
Look what I just drank. Sorry.
Yep.
So, joke's on him. We're going to drink this one.
Yeah, and this luckily is a 12 ounce, so there's none to share with him.
Nope. No, we will finish this one off. And if we don't, then Dole will.
Then we'll leave him the empty, and then we'll tell him about it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So, all right. Nice golden color on this. Look at that. I'll hand you that over. And
I'm going to take a look at this artwork. It looks pretty good.
It's a nice looking can. I was out on their website looking at it. They have a very interactive website. A lot of fun. As you go through kind of the history, they're only 7 years old. Like, they are not, well, I guess, no, they started in 2010. So, okay, let's go.
7's the new 9, or 9's the new 7.
We'll go even further back. So they've only been brewing for that long. They started off as a hookah lounge and live music venue. Hookah.
Those are things I can get behind.
Have you ever been to a hookah lounge?
I've been to, not specifically hookah lounge, but I've been in places that allow hookah activities in public.
Yeah. Dolan, have you ever tried the hookah?
Yeah, I almost died.
What?
Yeah, I just coughed and yeah.
You wouldn't?
Not my thing.
Not your thing? No?
Yeah. Those nicotine water pipes are tricky.
Yes. Yeah. There seems to be a lot of places that sell those things. I don't know. That's the nicotine pipes.
That's right.
Yes.
For nicotine use only.
That's what it's for, I guess. So, I don't know. Very carbonated. It looks
yes,
like.
It is.
It looks really...
Almost got a Saison body. A lot of bubbles.
Smells good.
Very clear.
Funky Buddha Brewing Company. What's it called again? What's Pineapple Beach?
Pineapple Beach.
Pineapple Beach.
And on the can, the pineapple was a bird, it looks like to me. Ooh, that's really good.
It is super easy to drink.
I wish it was summer. I wish it was 100 degrees in here right now. Oh, my goodness. That was good.
Yes.
It's like it's got that pineapple, not the bitter pineapple, like close to that rind, but it's got that just sweet aftertaste of the pineapple.
Yeah.
Like after you've eaten it and you just got that, oh, yum. Mm-hmm. Sorry, Seitner. You ain't getting any of this one.
This is the definition of like lawn mowing beer.
Yeah.
Of sitting out in your driveway beer.
Oh, like a fire pit summer night beer. Like you could drink a 6 of this pretty easy. I would think.
No bitterness at all. 5% by volume. So it is less than a Bud Light alcohol wise, and no bitterness at all. None. Just a delicious pineapple taste.
It's when you drink a beer like this, I always think, like, why wouldn't everyone drink this? Why would you buy a Bud Light?
Right.
When you can have this, that's better for you, with quotes. Probably the same caloric intake, but there's actual flavor.
Yes.
And it's amazing.
But here's the
something
thing.
to look at.
I was that guy, though, for a long time. And I didn't even honestly, I didn't even like the mainstream.
Yeah, but you weren't even drinking that stuff.
No.
Yeah.
I shunned everything. And So I don't know. It took a while I think you just have to get introduced to it.
In the right way, maybe?
In the right way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Public shame works pretty good.
Absolutely.
Here's what I got on the Funky Buddha. I also went on their website, and I did the little virtual tour on there, which was kind of cool. I think some places should do that. I like the barn wood in the building. It was like reclaimed wood, it looked like.
I really want to go down there. I think it's super cool. It looks super cool.
It had 15 beers on tap, from what I could count.
Wow.
On the thing. That looked pretty good. The menu. Holy smokes. The food menu? Did you write this
down?
I
wrote that down. Oh, my gosh.
I wrote just 3 things that looked amazing. The burger list, the Nashville hot chicken sandwich, and then the beet salad. Why would you eat beets? I don't know. But that was on their menu, salads.
My friend Steve Ryan eats beets every time we go to a salad bar because he tries to be healthy sometimes, and he always gets the pickled beets.
But they look like the can. They're like it looks like the cranberry sauce from Thanksgiving, usually, those beets.
He loves them. Man.
man. Oof, that's
It's
rough.
one of those things that makes everything else taste like that.
Yeah.
Like if you put it in your salad,
Yep.
then your whole salad tastes like beets.
Which is to say it tastes like a dirt clod. It's not great.
No.
Okay. This leads me to have an idea about a upcoming podcast.
Oh.
And we're going to make him come in here. I have a beet beer in my fridge.
He will love that.
Yeah, so we can hate it and he can love it.
Yep.
How's that sound?
He would be happy to drink that.
Bookmark it.
Okay.
So the research that I did on this one is on pineapple. Because I thought, I don't know a whole lot about pineapple.
Interesting.
I only buy them at the grocery store, and I know that SpongeBob lives in one. That's about where my pineapple knowledge ended.
Under the sea.
That's right. Next door to Squidward. You know about that, Dolan?
Yep.
Cool.
Dolan has watched something.
I still watch it sometimes.
I do too.
I do too.
I do too.
Yeah.
So here's what I know. In 2016, Costa Rica, Brazil, and the Philippines made up a third of the world's pineapples. Like that's where they were from.
Okay.
They are called pineapples. Do you know why?
No.
They resembled pine cones, which is true, right? They kind of look like a pine cone.
Like a big pine cone.
So in 1664, that's the first reference I could find. They found them in South America, just growing.
Okay.
Explorers. And that's the reason that they have that name, is because they look like pine cones. It is a herbaceous perennial, which means it comes back every year once it's flowered and the fruit has been taken off. It will come back again next year. It is pollinated in the wild by hummingbirds. So if these grow out in the wild, that's usually who's doing making this magic happen. Okay. Otherwise, if it's in what they were calling a hothouse or a greenhouse, where most of these are now, it's pollinated by hand. So that could be your job. You could be a pineapple pollinator. You got to have the glove and you do some stuff. Each one of those has about 200 flowers. And when the flowers are like almost done, they fold into themselves and like conjoin, and that's what begins the fruit. So like flowers kind of like do this sort of curl motion.
Yes.
And then it becomes the base of the pineapple. And then that's what it grows out of. So you'll have one on like a plant, one pineapple in a tree or whatever. It kind of looks like a tree. So it's like an inverted thing. So the plant grows from the ground, and then at the top of the plant is the leafy part of the pineapple, and then the fruit is on the top part.
Okay.
If that makes sense?
It does, yeah.
It's like a yucca plant with like the pineapple in the center.
There you go.
Do you know what a yucca plant is? You do? I
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
Look at Big Brain on Dolan over there.
Hey, I just found out that pineapples don't grow on trees like maybe a month ago.
There you are.
Well,
See?
there you go.
Yeah.
I didn't know this either. So
Guess what? Columbus found one, 1493.
he claimed to find a lot of stuff.
I think this one is actually truthful.
Okay.
So he brought some back, and they were a big hit in Spain. And that's why, even to this day, like Mexican food, Spanish food will sometimes have pineapple in it.
Yeah,
because it was like a feature that they were like, holy cow, this thing is citrusy and great, and we're going to use it. So it's very popular in Spain in the 15, 16, 1700s. It starts spreading across Europe, and then it makes its way kind of back here in the Americas again. The Dutch grew it on purpose 1658. Like that was a big crop for them.
The climate was amicable to a pineapple.
Well, they would build these. They called them hot houses, and it was just like a big stone hut.
Okay.
That would take the heat in the daytime and then kind of hold it in there. So they were basically making greenhouses out of stone back in that day.
Look at Dolan. Show me a picture of scientific name Ananus cosmosus. Okay.
That's why we call it pineapple.
There we go. That's why we call it pineapple. That's exactly right.
Yeah, it uses this process called CAM photosynthesis, and I'm not even going to go into it, but basically it takes the sun and then it holds it, disperses it out, and that's how it kind of gets growth. But that was as low as I can go.
All I can think of is Billy Madison. Chlorophyll sounds like borophyll.
That's kind of where I was going with my research, so I pulled the plug on that one.
Good.
Catherine the Great, know her? Mm-hmm. She loved them. 1796. Here we go. 1900. Dole and Del Monte.
Oh.
Or Del Monte.
Del Monte,
Yeah.
I think.
You familiar with those two
Absolutely.
brands?
Absolutely.
So as a kid, growing up, that's where you got pineapple, at least for me. You weren't buying I don't think it was. Maybe it was a thing in the 80s in the grocery store to buy a whole pineapple.
No.
But probably not.
No.
You were getting it in the can.
Yep.
And if you got it in the can, it was Dole or Del Monte. Mm-hmm. Hawaii, that's where it was grown. That's where those plantations were happening. They started in 1900. Dole stopped making pineapple in cans in Hawaii in 1991, and Del Monte stopped in 2008. So now it's no longer a big product there. They do some local growing, but it's not like in a huge manufacturing scope as it had been for almost 100 years.
I didn't know that at all. So the pineapple that you would get in a can off the shelf right now from Dole or Del Monte is from someplace else, like the Philippines or Brazil or whatever? Or?
Mm-hmm. It's not from Hawaii anymore.
I wouldn't have known that.
Unless it was like farmed out is the wrong term, but like subcontracted almost, like smaller, they could buy it from smaller farmers and say it's theirs or whatever,
Sure.
but they don't operate any huge grow fields like they used to do.
Wow.
Let's see. I found a couple of different uses or things that they use pineapple in, and I'm going to hit them with you, see what you think. Somebody recommended that you cut a big, thick slice of it and put it on a hamburger.
Yes.
Have you had that?
Yes.
Either of you guys?
Yes.
Good? Not so good?
Great.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Okay.
Have you ever just grilled pineapple?
Grilled
fresh
pineapple.
pineapple on the grill?
Mm-hmm.
Super good, right?
Amazing.
That char, yum.
Yep.
I've used it in something that I found a recipe on. It was called a hobo pork chop. I had to really pronounce that right.
I don't even know what this is.
So it's basically just a big, thick, bone-in pork chop.
Okay.
And you get a ring of a pineapple, and you cut a green pepper, like quartered,
Okay.
and you throw it into a foil pack, and you throw it on the grill, and you just let it sit there for like a pretty long time,
Really?
low and slow.
Okay.
So the idea of it is like you get some fruit, and you get protein and some vegetable, and you can cook it on like in coals, like over a fire. Like you might do if you were just, cooking out on the ground,
Like the
on
hobo
a train,
pork chop,
basically.
yeah.
So, yeah, actually, every year in Colorado in my family reunion, we do hobo dinners. And it's like the same thing. You just put a pork chop in like some tinfoil with potatoes, and you wrap it up, and then you throw it in the fire.
Yeah.
And then it just sits in the fire, and then
Then
pull
you
it
take it out later, and it's done.
It's done.
We're going to Dolan's family reunion this year. Have some hobo meals.
I have a lot of questions. Apparently, you were the perfect guest to have on here today. Good job, Dolan. Thank you. But that was another thing I saw. Pineapple yogurt, I guess, is popular. I've never bought that for my kid. He's not a big pineapple fan. He will tell me, I like pineapple at school. And I'm like, well, guess what? It's the same can.
Yeah.
So you can eat it here. But that hasn't worked yet. Here's the big one. This is probably the hot topic. Pizza.
I was hoping you would get to this.
I know. I'm ready.
I was hoping you would get to this. I'm going to give you my take on it right now. Yes, I like a Hawaiian pizza. Ham, pineapple, I like it.
Dolan?
Love it. Actually, my favorite pizza, pepperoni, bacon, pineapple, jalapeno.
Oh, wow.
So a little sweet, a little spicy, kind of like you. I get it.
There you go.
I mean, I'm a pizza connoisseur, I feel like.
You love pizza as much as I love tacos.
And I'm of the mind, if you want to put it on a pizza, go ahead and put it on a pizza, man. It's not going to stop me. I personally won't order it on there.
No?
Like, there's other things I'd rather have.
Okay.
I'd rather take another meat.
Would you turn it down if it was there and we're like, hey,
If I
Brian,
was
I got some
hungry and
extra
they're like,
pizza.
here's some pizza.
Here you
No,
go.
I'd eat it.
Yeah, see,
Yeah,
there you go.
for sure.
There are some people out there that have a very closed mind about it.
Yeah, those people are wrong.
Pizza racism, I think.
That's
is-
right.
yeah.
Pizzaism or something. Yeah.
Pizzaism.
I have in my lifetime made a pizza out of a Slim Jim before.
Yeah.
It wasn't good.
It's virtually pepperoni.
Yeah, it was just really salty, like almost too much. It was almost like a chorizo. But
I do
it was
have one more
great.
question about this Dolan's Hobo Family Reunion.
You coming back to this?
Like, do you have to take a boxcar there?
Here's
like,
my
do you-
question: is it always in the same place? Because that defeats the point of the hobo
I think it
lifestyle,
does.
right?
I think it does. It moves
Well,
around.
well, here, my family lives on Pikes Peak, so it is in the middle of nowhere.
Okay, well, that
And
Checks
we can
that
have so we haven't done it in a few years because of the fire ban there.
Oh, and you can't
So
cook
we
your
haven't,
dinner. Yeah.
we haven't been able to have fires there for the
Are
last
you the
2 or 3
reason for
years.
the fire ban?
No,
Okay.
no.
I don't. Here's the thing, though. This doesn't sound like real hobo life to me because hobos don't care about fire bans,
That's true also.
right? They wouldn't care.
They're breaking the law just getting around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're riding the rails for free.
Yeah.
That's not.
Listen, if we had a fire going on in Colorado and I convinced my entire family to be hobos while we make hobo dinners,
Yeah.
it might look weird. We might look like indigenous mountain people out there. Just,
Could be. But you also don't want to burn the whole mountain down.
True.
You don't
No.
want to be that
No.
guy.
I
Because that
guess.
was pretty close a few years ago.
That is true. That's true.
So we would,
Yeah, that guy is in a lot of trouble.
I hope so.
He is in a lot of trouble.
I hope he wasn't making a hobo dinner when that happened.
He's making hobo pork chops.
Giving him a bad name. 44% of your daily allotment of manganese, which I don't know what that is in pineapple, and 58% is in one serving of vitamin C in a pineapple. So you can eat 2 pineapple pieces for your serving or whatever, and you're 100% on your vitamin C. So good source for that. We talked about Hawaiian pizza. Hawaiian is like a term you'll see in decorations. You'll see it like I've seen pineapples on like dresser drawer handles, finials. There's like a whole aesthetic, like an Pacific Island aesthetic, and pineapples are in that quite a bit.
Yeah.
And it's almost it's kind of strange because you'll see Hawaiian, especially on menus, will mean it's going to have some pineapple in it or whatever, but they don't even really do that in Hawaii anymore. So I think that's kind of funny.
Well, if you walk around pretty much any college campus, I bet you'll find a plethora of guys with pineapples on their socks.
Wow.
That's a thing.
Pineapple socks?
I
Pineapple
guess.
socks.
All right.
Or
Look at El Guapo
Plethora. I was just
dropping
thinking that.
plethora on us over
Get you
here.
a sweater for Christmas.
Yes. Would you say I have a plethora of gifts, Dolan? Yes, El Guapo.
Wow.
You like that?
We have been all over the board with this one.
That was the Three Amigos right there.
It sure was.
I love it. I love it.
And he's probably which amigo is Dolan?
Oh boy.
He's the Martin Short, isn't
I was
he?
going to say he's the Martin Short. Without
I think
a
you're
doubt.
the Chevy Chase.
I would be honored to be the Chevy
I'll
Chase.
take Steve Martin.
Absolutely.
I think we've done it. Man. It doesn't get any better than that.
Coming this summer from Atlas, Three Amigos, the remake.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's what I know about pineapple.
That's so okay. Is it technically a citrus then? It's a citrus fruit.
Yeah, I would say so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's some of those weird ones that tomato's the obvious one that it's not a vegetable, it's a fruit, whatever nonsense.
I think just because of the amount of vitamin C it contains, it has to be considered that.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
All right.
That's what I know. This beer is very good. Like you said, super drinkable.
So many of these. I could drink
It's really light.
many. Yes.
Like I don't even feel like I drank much of it.
Like if you prefer maybe the fruity island drinks, like if you go to a beach and you get the fruity drink versus the Red Stripe or
the
Corona
rum and Coke or something, yeah.
Right. Like this could be a gateway to that other beers for you.
I bet it would be so good. And it's probably why it's in a can. Maybe it's more beach friendly that way, but that'd be sitting on the beach. Having a couple of these would be all right.
I could imagine that right now. Although it's not terrible here in Omaha today, but
The sun's out, which makes a difference.
Yeah. So here's what I found out about Funky Buddha Brewing Company. We kind of touched on it already. Founded in 2010, Boca Raton, Florida. They started off. Florida couple bought a small brew house, hookah lounge, and live music venue in Boca Raton. In February of 2010, founders Ryan and Gianna, Giana, Gianna, maybe, Sentz, Sentz, Sens, maybe. Moved the brew house to another location in Boca Raton named Funky Buddha Lounge and Brewery. In 2012, Funky Buddha announced it would be using Cigar City's brewing system to brew and bottle their own beer and began distribution. That was kind of interesting that they worked together with Cigar City.
A lot of times, especially when breweries are just starting out, they'll like work a shift, like 12-hour shifts. Or they'll like sublet the time of the equipment. So if you want to come in and work midnight to 6 in the morning, you can brew beer. You can brew a batch. Like Cross Train could say, like, we only brewed till 8 at night or whatever.
Sure.
And then you can, for money, you can have the brew equipment from 8 to 6 in the morning, that sort of thing. So they're making money. The other brewery is able to make some beer, whether or not their system is ready, or like let's say they're prepping to be open and they need ingredient, like they need some stuff to have. That's a way that that breweries will do that.
Interesting. I mean, I knew that existed to a certain extent. What about the fermenters? Like, do they have they have extra fermenters for that?
I would assume they would have to have something in place. Maybe it's theirs, and then they move them later, or
Maybe.
I mean, moving them is expensive, but you gotta have product to sell at your brewery. So I don't know, because I think you'd have to house it all on site. You couldn't like brew it and then take it to your own fermenter or something like that.
No, you'd have to. Work. It goes right then into the fermenter. So then, but I wonder how long this would stay in the fermenter. I mean,
I don't know. I wouldn't think it'd be too long. But.
No, not long at all. 2013, with the help of his brother KC, like the Royal, not the.
That's right.
Yeah,
not the Sunshine Band.
Not the Sunshine Band.
Actually, it is still the same KC.
Is it? Oh yeah, I guess you're right. Okay, I like the Sunshine Band then. They opened a second location in Oakland Park. The Oakland Park location is 40,000 square feet.
That's the one I saw online.
Huge. Yeah. Yes. They later sold the old location. Let's see, where was that at? Here we go. August 10th, 2017, it was announced that Constellation Brands had bought Funky Buddha for an undisclosed price. After celebrating the 7th anniversary, the original Boca Raton Funky Buddha Lounge was sold to Alan Steen and rebranded Robot Brewing Company, which I've heard of Robot.
I have not, but I'd like to try it.
Well, maybe our friends down there, maybe our Funky Buddha.
Yeah, he
Ashley
needs to
Grohs,
pull some more strings for us here.
Get us some robots. So, Constellation Brands, are you familiar with them? Do you know anything
that sounds familiar, but
the only thing I know that they brew is Corona. Like that's
okay.
That's the only. But I don't know what else.
I mean, it's not surprising.
No.
That, that's the game now is buy up known brands and keep making those beers.
Yep.
And just continuing to try to push the market out a little bit.
I got no problem with this one though. Like none
nope.
As much as I wouldn't enjoy a Corona. So the only location now, 1201 Northeast 38th Street, Oakland Park, Florida. They are open 11:30 a.m. to midnight, 7 days a week.
That's pretty good hours.
That's pretty good hours, right there. And the other thing I wrote down here because I wanted to touch on it, and I was hoping that you would see it too: burger/salad menu.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
their food looked great.
It looks great.
Yeah. Like it would be a place you could go eat lunch and you might not even have to have a beer.
Oh, I think you would have to. But
I mean, you could.
It looks like it pairs well with beer. How's that?
I think that their menu reflects the beers that they have, which is a smart idea.
I think so too. So, last on mine, let's look up on Untappd.
Untappd rating. Okay.
Because I know you have a surprise for us here. At the end.
But this one, I don't know because I don't have any familiarity with Funky Buddha beers, so I don't know anything about them. I would say 3.82 is going to be where I would jump. That seems maybe too high, but it's really good, I think.
Funky, wow, you're not too far off.
Yeah?
3.45.
Yeah.
Solid.
But I'm going to guess there's a lot of
25,000
Yeah,
rankings.
that's a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah. What would you rank this one?
I would go 3.75.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yep. As much as this is a like summer beer, and you know what? I bet it would be a 4 if it was hot outside and we were sitting on a patio.
It makes a difference.
Yep, absolutely.
As opposed to wearing hoodies. Mm-hmm. You know what would be good in that beer? And this is something that Dolan was talking about with his menu. Just a little hint of jalapeno.
Oh,
just a little spice at the end. Wouldn't that be really good?
That would be pretty fantastic.
We're going to let Dolan figure that out here on his own. There's a little left in that can.
He had a suggestion for an upcoming episode of jalapeno beers.
Yeah, we've been kind of talking about that too. So we're gonna get into those.
Right.
Here's what else we're gonna get into. Here's a good segue. I hope I'm right on this.
Okay.
What's one of your favorite candy bars?
So my favorite candy bar of all time is the Twix.
Okay.
The Twix bar. I like that a lot.
I made a big mess with my hand.
Good job.
Ooh, that tastes good. Probably doesn't look great. How about an Almond Joy?
Oh,
Are you a fan of the Almond Joy?
Okay, so here's the thing. Being a dad,
Yeah.
and this is something you'll learn as your son gets older, is when they go trick-or-treating, the Almond Joys are always left to the end. Mm-hmm. And so because of that, Almond Joy has become one of my favorite candy bars, yes.
Good.
Yes. Oh, what is this?
So we've got, it's basically just a liquid Almond Joy. I'm assuming I have not drank this before.
So
It's from Pulpit Rock, which is in Decorah, which is where Toppling Goliath is.
Wow.
And this is their Almond Joy beer. And it is dark. It smells amazing.
It's called For the Joy of Almonds.
And the logo label is made to look like an Almond Joy.
Absolutely. I love it when you bring fun
Yeah, so I thought this would be a good
stuff.
We're going to have some dessert now.
All right.
So I did a research on the Almond Joy. So I wanted to learn about it a little bit.
So
I am not a coconut guy.
Pineapple and coconut.
So that was my idea, trying to keep it tropical.
I love it.
Man, it smells good.
It smells like an Almond Joy.
Yep, that's pretty good. Ooh, the chocolate's good in that. Pulpit Rock doesn't mess around.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
So
I'm not making this up at all. This tastes exactly like an Almond Joy.
they had an Oreo cookie version of this kind of beer, and it tastes like the chocolate of the cookie itself. Mm-hmm. It's exactly like that.
We could go there.
Kind of freaked me out.
We could go there right now.
Probably should go there now.
We need to ditch work.
They have a tiramisu beer that's just out of this world. Their dessert stouts, their pastry stouts are just ridiculous.
Stop talking.
Let's go.
Tiramisu is my hands down favorite dessert ever.
I wish I had one of those.
So now,
all right, episode's over. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, we're gonna do a remote. So, Almond Joy, I did some research on them, and I'll go through it here real quick while you drink that. Peter Paul Manufacturing Company started in 1919, 100 years ago.
Okay.
They made the Mounds Bar in 1920,
right.
So that's their first one. Mm-hmm. Let's see here, I think it was like 46-ish, Almond Joy comes on the scene.
Okay.
So a little bit later in the game. They had a candy bar that they had called Dreams earlier between the two, and it was kind of similar. It had coconut in it, but not the almond.
Okay.
And that was really popular in World War II. Mm-hmm. 80% of those were sent in the ration kits, so guys were eating them all over across Europe.
Sure.
And because of that, Europe also started making a candy bar that was very similar to that. And that was the company, let's see, Cadbury. You know them?
Yes, very
much.
The
Cadbury cream, the CREME egg.
Mm-hmm,
They got into the Almond Joy game, quote unquote. In 1978, they merged with the Schweppes Cadbury company.
Yep.
And then created all those things. And it seems like European or English candy is a little different.
Okay.
Than what we have here. Like
it's definitely different. Yes.
So that they're kind of branched off from that. The other thing I thought was interesting is just they've always had the same iconic-y blue wrapper, right? Which is fitting for your Cubs apparel today.
Absolutely.
1988, Hershey's buys them out.
Okay.
So that's who is making Almond Joy now, apparently.
Hershey's bought all of Cadbury, Schweppes, whatever that.
At least in the U.S.
Okay.
So, because I know Cadbury's still making their own thing over there. But here in the United States, that's who's making Almond Joy and Mounds, and it's been that way since then. 2004, tell me if you've had this one. They come out with a special edition, a Pina Colada, and then they also had a double chocolate Almond Joy.
No.
Missed the boat on those.
Yes.
2005, this one sounded interesting. White chocolate key lime.
Yeah, I would have loved that.
And milk chocolate passion fruit. Sounds weird.
Well, that's weird, but okay.
I like passion fruit in beer, I've learned recently.
Okay.
And then 2006, they had a toasted coconut.
Yum.
And then apparently they said, well, lock it down. We're not doing anything different. So that's been the same regular old Almond Joy since.
They're not making those. Like I can't go on Amazon and order these things or whatever.
You might. It just might be real old. So it might not be so great.
Yeah, that's not good.
Real fast, a couple other things. 1978, around that time, the jingle came out featuring both Mounds and Almond Joy.
Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't. So it's one of the only times I can think of that they're like advertising two things at once.
Yes.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
The guy that wrote that jingle was in a bunch of like late 60s, early 70s bubblegum pop bands.
Okay.
And then that was how he parlayed into like advertising world. So he wrote some other jingles. I'm going to hit you with the jingles.
All
you
right.
finish them off for me if you can.
All right.
Come see the softer side.
Is that Sears?
Yes.
Yes.
Of Sears.
Yep.
Bing, bing, bing. You
Yep.
got it. Dr. Pepper, you make the world
No idea.
taste better.
Nope.
That's late 70s.
Okay.
Heartbeat of America.
Chevrolet.
That's right.
Yep.
Just for the taste of it, Dolan.
No. Diet Coke.
That's right. Diet Coke.
Yep.
This is a bonus one. I don't expect you to get it. I had no idea.
Okay.
Who's the kid with the...
No.
It's one of your favorites.
No.
Oreo cookie.
Ooh.
Apparently that was a jingle in the late 70s, early 80s. Who's
Really?
the kid with the Oreo cookie? I had to look it up.
His name was Rich, and he ate a lot of them.
Joey Levine was the guy that wrote and sang most of those, performed them.
Levine, maybe?
Levine?
So, like,
Maybe.
Adam's dad?
Maybe it's his kooky uncle in New York.
I'm just making that up. I don't know.
So the other thing I have in pop culture comes up a few different spots. I found it, the music connection, because I'm going to look for music.
Mm-hmm.
Allman Brothers Band. Before they became the Allman Brothers Band, they were the Almond Joys for a little while.
No, they weren't.
Yes, spelled almond, not almond.
No.
Yeah, early incarnation.
Again, if you didn't have all this music knowledge, I would say you're making this
No,
up.
that's true. There's a song, and this is a little known dude, but his name's Harmar Superstar, and he's from Minneapolis.
That is a great name.
It's a great name. His real name is Sean, but he goes by Harmar.
That's why he
as you
changed it.
should.
Yes, absolutely.
And he had a song on the Dark Touches album, which is also a great name.
Oh, the Dark Touch.
The song's called Almond Joy, and it's basically
There are so many inappropriate
It's
jokes
in-
to all of this.
yeah, and that's kind of what the song is, right?
Ah.
Yeah, chocolate, coconut. You make the call.
Hi, my name's Brian. My favorite song on the playlist this week is Almond Joy.
By Harmar Superstar. And then also Minneapolis connection. He was friends with and played with Prince.
Prince, yeah.
Prince name checks Almond Joy in his song Diamonds and Pearls, which is very hot and sensual.
Interesting.
Yeah, he basically says, I'm going to take you home, and I'm going to paraphrase for the children.
Sure.
Maybe remove your dress like I was opening an Almond Joy candy bar.
Oh.
I'm sure sales skyrocketed after that hit.
Yes.
And then maybe one of your favorite movies from 1991,
Okay.
starring Bruce Willis, Hudson Hawk.
I loved Hudson
Did you
Hawk.
really?
I did.
So apparently there's a character, all the names in the movie that are named after candy bars, and one of the main ones is Almond Joy.
Almond Joy. Twix, Kit Kat, Almond Joy. There was another one. I don't know if there was a Mounds, but there was
Something
definitely,
like that.
there were so that was just a knife in the heart. They talked to Bruce Willis, and they said, if you could go back and not do one movie, what would that movie be?
Yeah.
And he said Hudson Hawk.
Really?
Yeah.
Wasn't there a video game, Nintendo?
Oh, yeah.
I think so, yeah.
It wasn't as bad as the E.T. Atari game, but it was pretty bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I remember that. I remember being able to rent that at the Super Saver in Lincoln.
Oh, nice.
The movie theater place there.
Mine was the Bogarts.
Oh, is that what it's called?
Yeah, it was called Bogarts. We went and got all our groceries at the Bogarts, and they started renting Nintendo games, and man, that was it. We would have sleepovers at Mike and Dan's house, and we would play all night long. It was Paperboy and
Oh, okay.
Oh man,
What's the game you rented more than any other? Do you think?
the Goonies a lot.
Oh.
We rented that one a lot.
Did it have the Cyndi Lauper song in the game?
No. Well, I mean, in its own like 8-bit kind of way, maybe.
That's
yes.
awesome.
Yeah. There were. Oh my gosh, there was like some Wild West game that we would rent a lot too. I don't remember what it was.
I rented RBI Baseball.
Yes.
Probably a million times. I could have bought it, but there was like nowhere to buy a video game.
No. Well, okay. So ironically, the first video game I ever bought from KB Toys was Baseball Stars.
Okay.
Remember Baseball Stars?
No.
Okay, so Baseball Stars was kind of the Japanese.
Was it like 10-yard
answer.
fight?
Well, it was better.
Okay.
So Baseball Stars was the first one where you could push to one side or the other and push B, and you would slide.
Oh, okay.
So you could slide to catch a ball, slide into a base.
Did it have like exaggerated cartoony players?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
maybe I am familiar with this.
And they had names like Hanzo
Yep.
and Babe and
Yeah.
guys like that. So
And they had like 5 different body styles.
yes,
Yeah, I remember
like
this.
the Kirby Puckett, like bent over, and then like
Yep.
the
there was like a Babe Ruth looking dude.
absolutely.
Yeah, I played that game.
And he would just jack home runs.
Uh-huh.
Like, in fact, we had to make a rule like you couldn't be. I can't remember the team name. Like you couldn't be that team. It was like you couldn't be the 49ers in.
Oh yeah, Super Tecmo or
yeah,
whatever.
in Super Tecmo Bowl. Or no, I'm sorry, the Oakland Raiders. Because you couldn't be Bo Jackson.
Yeah, he'd just kill you.
Right. It's ridiculous. That was a tangent.
Wow, it was. But you know what? You're eating candy bars and
Talking video games.
yep, 6th grade or whatever. This is what you're doing on a Friday night.
That's exactly right. Again, I mean, We've talked about some stouts before, and I'm not a stout fan at all. But this is not a typical stout. I don't
even know. I didn't look at the can that close. This might be technically a porter. I'm not sure if it's a stout or not, but
it doesn't really say.
2 more things. There's apparently a European version now that's out. That's called the Bounty Bar. It's made by Mars Candy Corporation.
Interesting.
And then Waleeco, Waleeco, made by the FB Washburn Candy Corporation, which
Okay.
I feel like is a really old-timey candy company name.
Do they make Necco wafers?
Yeah, they do. That's
Oh.
the company that does.
Really? That's
Yeah.
the oldest old-timey candy I can think of.
And that's the one that makes it. So,
So there's knockoffs of Almond Joy?
yeah. Well, there's not. I mean,
Interesting.
we could get deep in the woods here. We could go Nestle's Crunch versus Crackle.
Man, that's a tough one.
I'm going Crackle, guys.
I would go Crackle.
I don't think I've ever had a crackle. Oh man, who makes the crackle?
You only get the crackles in the single serving,
Halloween.
right? The Halloween ones.
Yep. It's the same people that make Mr. Good Bar. So it must be Hershey's.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love
and
Mr.
and
Goodbar.
Nestle. Yeah, Nestle makes the other one. The
Again,
chocolate's just better than the
it's
Crackle.
just yes. Again, it's because I'm a dad and I've had just the leftovers of the Halloween candy for so many years. They always leave the special dark. Like they don't want this, and that's quickly become one of my favorites.
It's great that your tastes evolve over time.
Yes, it's a forced evolution.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
It's all tied back to Halloween.
Yep.
Yep.
And what the kids don't eat. Mm-hmm. Here, eat the Sour Patch Kids because nobody wants those.
That's how it is with beer. You go meet some friends, and there's a cooler, and there's 2 IPAs left, and you're like, well, I guess I'm drinking IPA.
I'm drinking that one.
Here we are.
Yep.
So that's what I got. That's your surprise.
I love it. That's fun. Holy cow. So pineapple and coconut in the same beer podcast.
Yep.
That's pretty fun. Oh, now we're close to each other. Decorah, Iowa, and
We're moving this way.
Oakland Park, Florida. Interesting. Maybe they could collaborate. I know that's been happening a lot.
Yeah,
Collaboration.
That would be cool because Funky Buddha makes amazing stouts. That's what I know them from.
Really?
Yeah.
I had their Hop Gun IPA.
Maybe.
Is it Hop? I'd have to look it up. Hop Gun IPA. Very mild, really, really good, kind of summery. It's a beach IPA.
Yeah.
It
Must be nice to live in a place that it's beach weather all the time.
I know.
Like you can have summer beers all the time.
All the time.
No seasonal, so no falls. Any Oktoberfest getting brewed in Florida? Probably not.
No, probably not. I do enjoy the Oktoberfest time of year,
Me
though.
too.
Like that's when that day you walk in and you see the Sam Adams Oktoberfest for the first time.
And it's usually like July 7th.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's just immediately after 4th of July.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's okay, though.
Yeah. So,
Seasons change, Dolan. So does the beer.
yeah. Well, Brian, thank you. That was a nice little after treat from the Funky Buddha there.
Yeah, no problem.
Decorah, Iowa, and Pulpit Rock. I like that. That's what would you give this one on the Untappd?
Oh, this is a 5.
No.
Yeah, this is a 5 for me, hands down.
I don't.
And I don't even like coconut.
See, if you don't like coconut, then it's got to be like
But
a
it tastes
4,
good.
4.5 at least.
I don't like to eat coconut. I don't like that stringy, chewy. I got ruined on the caramel delight cookie, right? Like that was the only kind my mom would ever buy, the Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah.
So I don't like that. Gets in your teeth and it's kind of, I don't like that. But in this beer,
Well, that's like shredded coconut. Let's say we're on Survivor, okay?
yeah,
We're on Survivor,
I'm toasted.
and there's only thing you have to eat are the coconuts. Like that's what you're eating.
Well, you're
right?
eating it.
Yeah.
I'm not dying.
Yeah, you're just.
Well, I probably will later, but I'm gonna give it a shot.
You're on Survivor. CBS is not going to let you die.
Okay.
Quite honestly,
Well,
they will air vac you out of there.
I'd probably wait like as long as possible to not eat anything.
Okay, so 945 ratings on Untappd for the Joy of Almonds. What do you think their average?
4.55.
4.33.
I was closer on that one.
Do not give this a 5. Don't.
All right, I'll go 4.5.
Okay, that's what I'm going to do. 4
You
or
talked
5.
me back into it.
I
4 or
like it,
5.
So, all right, fun beers coming up next couple of weeks. If you're into any kind of flavored, either stouts or IPAs, we have some fun ones coming up that
Okay.
I really can't wait for. So
Cool.
One I've had, like 3 others I have not.
Nice.
So I would love to.
I like building up my Untappd portfolio here.
Absolutely. Yeah, so a lot of them from the Colorado region, just because I was there recently, and there's a lot of fun stuff there. So, all right, we'll see you next week.